What's up everybody, welcome back to a brand new video on Lex Alexas. I'm officially back, I'm recording videos and we are resuming our championship score predictions. It's been a long couple of weeks and a lot has happened. I went to Bournemouth Road, I met Benjamin Bloom, I saw a Blue Monday show, met Luke Chambers. A lot has happened in these past 2 weeks and I passed an exam as well, so a lot has happened. But one thing that I'll briefly talk about is just my utter thanks. Honestly, we've hit 2,000 subscribers, we hit our second goal. I'm absolutely starstruck that we got to this stage as quickly as this, and it's thanks to you guys. You guys drive the success and the hunger for me to carry on posting stuff for this channel. And some of you may be wondering, where's Babyface? I'm still got a beard. It will be removed very soon in due course. You will see me without a beard at some point this year. I can promise that, and pinky promise as well. You will see me without a beard. So, all of that nonsense out the way, let's start predicting these championship games. But also guys, if you like what you see and you want to see this series continue, please smash the like button. It really helps the growth of this channel. Let's go for 50 likes today. Let's resume these championship prediction series with a bang. Please also hit the subscribe button, because who knows what we can achieve next. Maybe 2.5k subs, maybe the next goal. Honestly guys, you guys have smashed it and you guys can literally make the impossible possible. And please also share the channel too. All these things really do help too. But now let's start predicting these weekend's games, which you guys can do as well for free. If you predict your games, you will also be able to enter the chance to get into Let's Alexas Football Prediction League. So my Premier League predictions are also going to be here on the left hand side of the screen, just in case you want to get involved with some Premier League predictions. So I think that's everything out the way. Let's start things off then with tomorrow's game, Rotherham versus Ipswich. Now, Rotherham are going into this game in the bottom three, not doing particularly well leading up to this point, although they did conclude their last batch of games before the international break on a positive note with a 1-1 against Southampton, probably their second best result of the season, with their best result coming against Norwich, and that has actually been their only win so far of the season. So Rotherham really need to pick up some points really soon. They're facing an Ipswich side where they are crushing it in the league at the moment. They are in the top two and looking quite unstoppable, and based on the start that they've had, everything's going for them to have back-to-back promotions. But I'm not getting too carried away with that, and they've got a bit of an issue going into this game. Wes Burns has picked up an injury and it's likely he'll need surgery, so he could face a couple of months out. But the good thing is that Ipswich have got Omari Hutchinson, who can step into the squad, and honestly he's been playing so well, probably deserves to be in the starting 11, to be quite honest with you. Ladapo's also got an injury, but the good thing about Ipswich is that they've got Broadhead and they've got Connor Chaplin as well to fill those gaps if they need be. But they are some crucial players that Ipswich are now starting to pick injuries from, and if they have a lot of their squad injured, then I think that could be their kryptonite in terms of this high intensity football that they're trying to sustain throughout the season. They've done it so well for 10 out of their 11 games so far. Can they carry this on for just a couple more games more as they really look to try and solidify themselves as a favourite for the top 6 at least? As a prediction here, I think I'm going to back an Ipswich win based on what I've seen. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Ipswich. And I hope that Ladapo injury is not that serious, because I'd love Ladapo to face against his former club as well. But I see Ipswich having enough firepower to potentially go past Rotherham here. It could offer something and could cause Ipswich some scares with some dead ball situations, but I think it won't be enough. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Preston versus Millwall. Now, I didn't mention in my intro, but this is going to be a very interesting game week, because we're going to see 3, not 2, 3 brand new managers here. It was 2 managers going into today, but we did receive some breaking news within about 5 minutes before recording. Gary Rowett has officially left Millwall after 4 years in charge. I've not had a chance to read the statement. I don't know what's been going on, but my observations of Millwall, I've only seen them a couple of times this season, and it's been a little bit below for what they have used to been trying to achieve in their last couple of seasons ago. But it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to stay around that lower mid-table. There's only been 11 games in, and it's really difficult for conclusions to be made. And I do think Millwall are capable and are still capable of turning their poor form around. And it's not even like dreadful form, it's just inconsistent form. They've been a bit up and down with their form. And as a result, they are going to be managing this going into this game. And that could potentially give them a short-term managerial bounce, and Preston would not want that. Preston ended their last couple of games before the international break in poor form, 3 defeats in a row, and they were going into those last 3 games without losing a game. They were only unbeaten side of the league until that point, and since then they've shipped in 11 goals in 3 games, so Preston definitely need work at the back. Going into this game, I think it was going to be low scoring regardless if Gary Rowett was going to be managing Millwall or not. But the fact that Millwall could have this managerial bounce, I might edge them here for a rare 1-0 away victory. Something screams of a very low scoring but 1-0 scrape win for Millwall. And I think that is what is going to happen here. So I'm going to go for 1-0 to Millwall. Probably maybe against the run of play, to be fair. But I think Mill's just got that within them that they can just nick a result. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Blackburn Cardiff. Now this I think is a very tough game to predict because there's been areas which I've been moderately impressed for both of them, but there's been areas I've been moderately concerned by both, and it's going to be very interesting to see which side comes up on top here. Now I do think Cardiff have been rewarded more with their good start than what Blackburn have at the moment. Blackburn, when I saw them play against Ipswich at Pullman Road, they looked really, really good going forward actually, and Sammy Smollett's especially looking really, really good. And I've got to say, Sigurdsson started to look like that he could potentially be a player, and it looked like that he really, really came to his own, where he managed to get on the score sheet in Blackburn's last game before the international break. So I'm hoping to see something really turn up for him, because he did show promise, but he didn't necessarily have the end product. But now it looks like he's backing that with that end product here. Cardiff, as a whole, they have been doing quite well with their form. They've had quite a few tough games actually, which has tested Cardiff's grit. But it's clear to me that I think, based on everyone's expectations, they've been one of the most overperforming sides of the league for what many predictors, and myself included, predicted. So Cardiff naturally have got that positive momentum that they have of proving people wrong. And I generally think into this game, I think individually Cardiff have got some players that can definitely deliver Cardiff a result by themselves. But Blackburn, I've got to say, with their high scoring attacking players, it might take them over Cardiff, but only just. As a prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Blackburn. I think it's going to be tight, but I think Blackburn being the home team might edge it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Bristol City versus Coventry. So, Bristol City and Coventry are literally right next to each other in the mid-table position. Both teams would think that get a couple of good games in these next 3, 4, 5 games, then they could potentially be a contender of being around in that top 6 region going into the next international break, which will be in the end of November. So Bristol City at this moment of time, and being a team a little bit similar to Millwall, to be fair, being a little bit inconsistent, especially with their results, with 3 defeats and 2 wins in their last 5 games. Coventry, their major problem has been drawing way too many games. I think they've drawn the most games out of anyone in the league by drawing 6 out of their 11 games, over half of their games. And whilst it means that Coventry are a difficult team to beat, it's always going to be a problem for them, because they're not going to be rewarded for being so resolute and for being so competitive in games. So, as a prediction here, I do see things going both ways for both sides. I generally think both sides can get something here. So, as a prediction, I can't make my mind up. So, I think by default, since Coventry have had many draws already, I'll go for another one here. Probably quite boring, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it's the safest bet at this moment, and I think that is what will happen here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Huddersfield versus QPR. Now, this could already be a very, very crucial game in the bottom of the table. QPR find themselves in the bottom three currently, and Huddersfield really only just see themselves just out of it. But QPR with a really, really good result here, they could have a slight chance of overtaking Huddersfield. Goal difference we need to swing quite a bit, and QPR would have to win a little bit heavily. But it is possible for QPR to overtake Huddersfield if they can beat them in this game, which could give them a good sense of motivation. Now, QPR went into the international break looking pretty poor. I think they had the worst form in the league out of all the championship teams in their last 4 games or so. Huddersfield under Darren Moore have not been too prolific per se, but they definitely have not capitulated in any sense. I think apart from Birmingham quite recently, the other games since Darren Moore has come in, I think they've actually looked quite competitive, and when I did see them against Ipswich, they actually played quite well. So I do think Huddersfield have got good opportunities and a good chance to get something here. With QPR, it's really going to be down if they can get an early goal, because when I've seen QPR get an early goal, most of the time they've been able to sustain that and keep the result and actually manage the game quite well. But when they're chasing the game, that is when I do struggle to see QPR going into this. And as a prediction here, I think I might back Huddersfield. Being at home and with their individual quality in the team, I think theirs is slightly better than QPR's right now. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to the Terriers. I don't think there's going to be many goals, but I think we will get one, and it will be to the way of the home team. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Hull versus Southampton now. So, both these sides like to put the ball in the back of the net. So, I'm really excited to see how this game goes out. Hull at this moment of time still competing in around that top 6 position. But they did fall off from their form quite recently with only 1 win in their last 5. And that it did involve a 3-0 defeat against Ipswich Town as well. Southampton, it looks like with them that they recovered a tiny bit of ground based on their really poor form at some stage and are now unbeaten in 3 games. Had they beaten Rotherham in their final game before the international break, it would have been 3 wins in a row. I think with this game, it could be one of those ones where we do see a good amount of goal-mouth action here. I think a draw is going to be the safest result, and that is what I think I'll predict. But I think we'll see an entertaining 2-2 draw. I generally think with the goal scorers that both Hull and Southampton have and the threats that they carry, I think we'll see both teams go for it. But naturally, it means both defences will have to concede at some point. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is going to be the second half of games. So let's go with Middlesbrough and Birmingham next. So this is going to be the team with the second new manager this weekend. So it is in the way of Birmingham, and it's Wayne Rooney returning to English football after leaving Derby to have a bit of time at DC United in the MLS, and now he is back in the Championship managing Birmingham. I mean, I think at this moment of time, I would probably side with most of the people. I would say 99.9% people would definitely have said that sacking John Eustace in the way that Birmingham did was incredibly harsh. Shades of Gary Rowett, about 5-6 years ago now to this day, which is crazy. And it does give me with a little bit of apprehension to see if Rooney can carry on this one, because Birmingham have been doing alright in the league so far going up to this point. They're in the top 6, so Wayne Rooney will be rubbing his hands thinking that he's got a really good side on his disposal here, but the pressure is really going to be on him to see if he can sustain that positive trajectory from Birmingham there. They face a Middlesbrough side which seem to be a team on the rise at this moment, and it just feels like things have clicked. They're looking very confident. They actually had the best form out of any team in the league going into the international break with 4 wins in a row and unbeaten in 5 games. So Middlesbrough have definitely got their act together and looking like that for one, they're scoring more goals and they're actually conceding less too. They've been able to find that balance, and I think a positive momentum and just one result going their way has really projected them up the table. So it's going to be interesting to see, can they start this form again from a little bit of a break from football, or domestic football at least. I think they could. I think Birmingham with Wayne Rooney is going to take a little bit of time for them to climatise to what Wayne Rooney wants. So as a prediction, I'm going to go for a Middlesbrough win, and I'm going to predict 2-0 maybe. I think Middlesbrough will feel quite comfortable, Carrick's settled, but Wayne Rooney has not settled. And with 2 Manchester United players going up against each other's managers, that's going to be very interesting. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Middlesbrough. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The next game to predict, and probably the best eye-catching game out of all for games this weekend, Norwich versus Leeds. Now, it's the return of Daniel Farke against his former club, and I'm really excited to see how both Norwich and Leeds get on with this game, because I will be expecting to see both of them in the upper end of the Championship. Norwich at this moment of time have not had any issues finding goals, but they've had issues trying to keep chances from going against them, and as a result of that they're conceding way too many goals, and Leeds are definitely going to be excited with that. They've been definitely improving their attacking sense. They had a lot of frustration with their attacking ways at the start, but it looks like they've gained some consistency. Their form has been relatively strong, which has put Leeds back into the top 6. Norwich with a good result here could get themselves into the top 6, but I do think this is going to be a very, very tough test for this Norwich side. As a prediction, oh, this is tough, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw actually. I don't think we'll see either side win. I say Leeds are favourite based on their form, but I think Norwich could do enough to get a draw. So I'm going to go for 1-1 in this game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Stoke versus Sunderland. So this is going to be the return of Alex Neil against Sunderland. And could it be that Alex Neil is going to be reminded why he shouldn't have left Sunderland in the first place? Because at this moment in time, he definitely would rather be in the Sunderland squad than what Stoke are doing at this moment of time. Stoke are really struggling in the league as of now. They're 21st place, and if they're not careful, they can find themselves in the bottom 3 after this weekend, which is crazy. Sunderland, on the other hand, they've been doing alright. They've been pretty much doing as I've expected Sunderland to be. They are 4th place in the table, so you've got to give credit to Tony Mowbray. He's definitely still getting some consistent results with this Sunderland side. Now, they did end their last game before the international break in a pretty bad and shambolic defeat against Middlesbrough by 4-0 at the Stadium of Light. But in their defence, they did go down to 10 men in the first half, and I think that did kill Sunderland's chances. But they've got the opportunity here to respond, and I think against a Stoke side where they've been really inconsistent getting results, I think they'll get one here. So as a prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Sunderland. I do think they will have enough firepower to overcome Stoke. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Sunderland. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The next game to predict is Swansea versus Leicester. So Swansea have been doing pretty well going into this game. They were struggling, but it seemed that things started to click as well. A bit similar to Middlesbrough, where they had one pretty good result and now they're starting to improve game by game. But this is a Leicester City side who are destined to try and break the records. And if I'm right in saying, I think the stat that I've been seeing, that no team in Championship history has won their first 6 away games in a row. And Leicester could achieve that. I mean, that is incredible. That is just telling you about how Leicester are almost a cheat code in a way in this league at this moment of time. I definitely think they can be stopped. They're not the finished article yet, but the 23 other teams need to take advantage of that and try and compete. And as a prediction here, I just think with the options and depth in Leicester's team, I think that will carry them to victory, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 away victory to Leicester. I think it'll be quite comfortable. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Watford versus Sheffield Wednesday. So this is the third and final team with a new manager in Sheffield Wednesday. They've gone for Danny Kroll. So you may have heard of him. He's assistant manager, or he was assistant manager for Bayern Munich at one stage, Leipzig, Southampton at one stage, worked with Ralph Rangnick. So he has got good pedigree, but it's a very interesting out-of-the-box appointment, and I think he was one of the managers that was interviewed in the original Sheffield Wednesday managerial vacant position there. So that's why they've gone for that, and maybe have not chosen the smarter option to maybe go for John Eustace, because Sheffield Wednesday still had not appointed the manager when John Eustace was dismissed. So I think that it was an opportunity missed by the Sheffield Wednesday team. But I can only gesture what I think about Danny Rowe when I see the team. I mean, I think at this moment in time he's got a really tough job on his hands. It's a team low of confidence, low in quality. But they are facing a Watford side who are seemingly not getting the results that they have been hoping for, definitely. They are down in 20th, and they've struggled to put the ball in the back of the net, I've got to say. It surprises me, because they looked like they had it sorted at the start of the season, but definitely in the next couple of games, they've just been really wasteful with their chances, and it could give Sheffield Wednesday a bit of an opening to get a result. But realistically, as a prediction, I think Watford will get something here, and I think they'll go for a 2-0 win. I think it will be a little bit of a slow burner, but I think an early goal for Watford will set the tone, and I think they'll finish Sheffield Wednesday off in the end. So I'm going 2-0. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Final game to predict for this week is West Brom and Plymouth. So, West Brom have been improving their form, and they're rapidly going up the table and could find themselves in a really promising position. I don't think they'll be in the top 6 after this weekend, but they can really be touching distance of it if they get a good result here. If they're scoring more goals more consistently, I think that 4-0 win against Preston was sensational. Plymouth have been struggling a little bit with their form quite recently. Only one win in their last 5, which was an amazing win against Norwich, don't get me wrong, but their last couple of games, they have fallen a little bit short in an attacking sense, and I'm definitely seeing at this moment of time that they struggled against teams who sit back a little bit, actually. And Plymouth, I think, need to get a little bit more versatility and just less naivety when it comes to playing in their games. I do think West Brom now are very experienced in this league, and I do think Plymouth are going to struggle with that. As a prediction, I think it'll be competitive, but I think West Brom will edge out with a 2-1 victory. I think with them being at home and the squad players that they've got, I think it will only just edge Plymouth, and Plymouth's away record is abysmal to say the least. So I'm going to be backing a West Brom 2-1 win. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So guys, that is my predictions all done. If you agree, let me know in the comments down below. But always remember guys, leave your predictions too in the comments down below, as this is a way that you guys will enter the Leicester Football Prediction League. So, that'll wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please smash the like button. It really does help. Please do hit the subscribe button too. It really helps. And please share the channel too. All 3 of these things really do help the growth of this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for joining in this video. And as always, I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.